everybody. My name's Craig.
I'm Brian.
I'm Burke.
And I'm Michelle.
And this is Get Dunked On, the podcast.
Some classical music. I'm loving it, Brian.
Well, yeah, the Imperial Death March. Oh, no. He went into it.
Well, you got those two, and then what's the oh, I don't. Wow, I can't even think of it. I was trying to think of the funeral procession march too, and I couldn't think of how that one actually went. So
Perhaps.
All I can think of is the Halo love music theme, like the love theme of it. It's just a pure piano, the boom, boom, boom. That's all I got. I'm sorry. I'm way out there.
Yeah, I'll start singing some Breaking Benjamin. I say you're talking about Halo music. There you go.
There you go. I like that.
Oh,
Let's bring it back. Bringing it back to the day.
Breaking.
So, guys, I have a problem. One, I'm supposed to get a package today that was supposed to be that was delivered on Monday, or that was not delivered on Monday, excuse me, because I apparently was not home, even though I was all day long. I was supposed to receive a package I ordered from Amazon like a month ago. So much so that I had forgotten about it because it was, I don't know, probably shipped from Germany because it's German coffee, right? So German coffee, you're thinking German coffee. But anyways, like, it's like $30 worth of coffee. Nothing big, just a little bit of decaf coffee for to supplement my addiction, right?
Decaf coffee?
Yeah, I drink decaf at night sometimes just to stay, not awake, just to have coffee because I like it. So
nice. Okay.
Yeah. And like the stuff that I get, it's really good. So you can't taste the difference between regular and decaf, which is impressive.
That is impressive.
So
that's legit.
So anyways, so I ordered it, forgot about it. Well, so I get a little notification from the USPS going, "Hey, we tried to deliver a package at 3:23 p.m." And I'm like, I was home. The doorbell did not ring. My dogs did not bark, because anytime there's like or anything that sounds like a doorbell, my dogs go nuts. I'm sure some y'all have heard it many a times, right? They're like,
you edit those out.
What the hell? So first of all,
hopefully the listeners haven't heard it.
Yeah, we did our job right. The listeners have no idea that you even have a dog.
Exactly. Except for the Instagram followers out there. Thank you. So yes. But anyway, so I get it's like first of all, it's coffee. It's $30 fucking from Amazon. Why is it even a signature required? Not to mention, I like 2 weeks ago when I actually ordered the coffee, because I ordered decaf and regular at the same time. Guess what? They delivered, left on the porch, and they're like, "Yep, see you later. Fuck y'all." And I'm like, the even cheaper coffee I have to sign for, like the cheapest thing I've ordered in years from Amazon, and I have to sign for it. I'm pissed. And of course today I left them instructions the other night. I was like, they go, "Please schedule redelivery." I was like, okay, let's do Wednesday night. And let's do, and the instructions were ring the doorbell a lot. So I was like, just keep ringing it until I fucking come to the door, because I will be home. I'm like, I still have yet to hear it. So hopefully they haven't delivered anything to it yet, and I just didn't know. Have y'all had any problems like that before?
It's really weird because I've had it set up before, like when I've gone through and like ordered the new iPhone, I'm getting it right at launch or whatever. And so there's a good chance you see packages being delivered that day and like, priority UPS or priority FedEx.
Yeah.
That, hey, that might be a new iPhone in there. So that's a key item that you might want to look at and maybe steal if you were so persuaded.
Mm-hmm. That's a great idea.
There's times that I was like, I'm requiring signature. Do not deliver this thing unless if I am there to pick it up. I come back home that day and it's just sitting there on the mat, and it literally has like a big Apple sign on one part of the box. I'm like, you fucking serious? Like, why in the hell would you do this? I'm like, require signature. And then for you, they're like, I don't know, this $30 coffee, we got to make sure nobody does anything bad about it.
But he did send it from Germany, he said, right?
I don't know. I don't know why it took a month. That's why I'm assuming it took a month to freaking get here. It's like it came from the same distributor that I bought the regular coffee from. So I don't know.
See, that's weird. My Sam's Maxwell House is always there on the shelf, and I just go and get it and come home every time.
Gross. Just gross.
How about you, Michelle? Any weird mail stories?
No, because I haven't had to sign for a package in years, but today actually I had the most interesting food delivery I've ever had. So I have a front door and a side door, and so when we order delivery, we actually always tell them to come to the side door because we don't actually really open the front door much.
What about the shawarma?
I don't have an oven.
No.
So
Not even an easy bake?
what? I have a toaster oven. No, anyway, so today John was like, I want pizza, and I was like, okay, so order some. So he did, and about half hour or so goes by, and somebody literally just tries to open our side door, but thankfully it's locked, so it doesn't open. And I was like, John, your pizza might be here. And then 30 seconds later they knock, and I was like, they totally just tried to walk into my house. So he goes, and sure enough, pizza dude's like, hey, what's up, man?
It's like a pizza home invasion. He's like, hey, surprise!
Pizza home invasion.
He was like the first person to actually pay attention to the instructions to go to the side door, but he's also the first delivery person that's tried to open the door and come into the house.
I mean, sometimes though, I don't know. I've had pizza guys show up in the past that are pretty much, you'd assume the exchange would happen on your porch, but they're like, no, man, I'll come into your living room. It's like, I didn't invite you in. I can, you're not a vampire,
I can see
but that's
that
about it.
if it's super hot out, if it's raining, if it's super snowy, if it's any form of, I think you can handle it. Stay the fuck out.
Today it's 70 degrees, it's cloudy, and I have a carport, so even if it was raining, he wouldn't get wet, so.
Yeah, then you just need to punch that asshole. Next time he comes around, just be like, right in the face.
He's like, hey, I brought this can I steal some stuff? Cool.
And speaking of deliveries, I've been trying to get something delivered to me for months now. I would say it feels like, I don't know if it's been exactly months, but at least it feels that way. So we're going through, and for our buddy's wedding, we're getting suits made, right? And instead of renting a tux, and it's roughly the same price-ish for the whole shebang. So we're getting these tuxes, and they have it set as a local thing in Michigan. As some of you may know, listening at home and the people here, I don't live in Michigan. So for me to get fitted for this, I have to just go find a random person to measure me, send the numbers in, and then have the person make the suit for me. Awesome enough, this guy, when he makes a suit, he's like, no, I'm not going to send it. You have to come pick it up. I'm like, well, I don't want to come pick it up. I'm not going to get in till probably an hour before the rehearsal dinner. And I'm not going to have time to, get it altered if I have to have any form of changes to this suit beforehand. So I was like, I need this earlier. So I've been trying to get this thing shipped for so long. And it is the stupidest thing in the world how far I had to go. I had to call Brian and say, Brian, can you go to this place, pick it up, and then ship it to me? That's what I ended up having to do just to get this fucking suit. It's super annoying.
It was an unmitigated disaster from minute one with this suit thing. So, okay. So do you mind if I just go through the story of this suit from my angle on this one, Craig? Because I know it's a kind of a long story, but I do want to tell it.
I don't want to hear it.
Well, okay, too bad. This is the podcast. Look, we got an hour to fill, damn it. I'm going to tell the story. By the way, for the record, before we start, I suppose we should mention that the fact that this is about a wedding story, that is, in fact, our topic for the day, for those of you listening at home.
So it is a very relevant story.
It is. It's a very relevant story.
Because it's June, right?
Oh, it's wedding season!
Oh my God, who's so excited?
Fabulous! Oh my God, I heard Teal's in this year. Oh my God. Okay, so here we go. Here, basically, our buddy had said, "All right, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go ahead and we're gonna get these suits from Men's Warehouse, or tuxes from Men's Warehouse," and that was the plan, right? So I go to Men's Warehouse. This is back in January, February time, so it was a lot of snow on the ground, all right? And I went and got fitted for my suit.
And the nearest one is not that close to you.
No, it's not. But I went, and I went to that, and I went. It was, of course, I happened to be caught coming home from work that night in a blizzard. But whatever. Point is, I drove through and it got fitted for the suit or the tux or whatever, and I'm like, great, it's done. Less than 48 hours later, he calls me and goes, oh, you need to go there and cancel and get your money back because instead of renting tuxes, we're now getting these suits. So from this other guy, which is in a totally other direction, opposite direction, same distance. But anyway, so I was like, okay, fine, whatever. I go back, I get my money back from Men's Warehouse. I go to this new guy. This new guy, holy crap. Craig was really underselling this. The guy was... English was not his first. It's not his first language.
I'll tell my portion of this, and then you can cut back in after.
Yeah.
Because I did roughly the same thing. I went in, got measured for the thing, and it was literally within 24 hours. I'm getting a message like, "Oh, we're not going to do that anymore." He had just sent out a message the day before, like, "Hey, just a reminder, make sure to go get fitted for your suit." And I was like, "Crap, I need to go do it." And I literally went that minute. I literally went, dropped my shit, and just went and did it right then. Came back home. Was good. And then 24 hours later, it was, yeah, you guys need to go cancel all your orders and go back. But it's cool because now you're going to keep the suit and it's going to be the same price. I was like, well, it's not bad. I get to have something, though. I'm never going to wear a suit again, but.
Yeah.
Hey, get some use out of it.
What were we saying, Burke?
Oh, I was just saying, I like that better than just renting a tux for a wedding.
So I was like, well, yeah, that's a good thing. I'll keep the suit. Well, I'm literally not going to wear this within the next couple years, and by then I'll have changed sizes again. So this is basically like renting the suit for me because I'm never going to wear this. And then, I have to go out and it's just the jacket and the pants. So I'm going to have to go out and buy a white shirt because I don't have a white shirt like a dress shirt. Well, I don't have a tie either. Well, we're going to have to buy ties because we're all going to match anyway. Well, I don't have black shoes either. Well, this is being a lot more money for me to buy this suit. This is going to be like double the price just to buy it because I'm not going to buy just, I'm going to try and get shoes that I can wear to multiple events now, and I'll, get more use out of it. But I was like, man, this went from like $250 and it's going to jump up to a good $350, $400 for me on this one.
Oh yeah, so anyway, we go to this guy, and as I said, first off, there's a major language barrier to deal with, right? So I walk in, and I'm like, oh hi, I'd like to I'm part of the wedding. I give the last name of the groom there, and he goes, oh yes, of course. He goes, let me get you measured, and I'm like, all right. And so he hands me a suit coat, and I slide it on, and I'm like, I don't think this is right, as far as fit wise. He goes, oh, looks great. I'm like, uh-oh, this is already getting bad. This is getting bad. And then I go, what about my pants or whatever? He goes, here, try these on. Then he hands me a pair of pants, and I come out. I'm like, well, these are relatively okay. He's like, great. I'll see you when they're finished. I'm like, how will I know? He's like, oh, paperwork. Yes, paperwork. And he made me fill out all the paperwork, right? He handed me his form, and he goes, oh, go write it down. And I'm like, well, what do you want me to write down? He's like, well, your name. And, I'm like, all right. And so I put down my name. He goes, and phone number. And when you want pick up. And I'm like, all right, fine. So I fill the whole thing out, and I say, all right, I can be back anytime. When will it be ready? His response was, it will be. And I'm like, that's not an answer, but I really, and I'm in a hurry, so I got to go. Right. So I leave, and it's over a month later. I'm like calling this guy going, hey, how about that suit, huh? And he's like, yes, of course. So I show up physically to the mall, and I go, hey, I'd like to pick up my suit. He's like, oh, it's not ready. How about next week? And I'm like, you just said, like, and this continued on and on and on. So Craig contacts me and says, oh, can you pick up my suit as well? And I'm like, Craig, you don't know what kind of shit show you just walked in on. Like, this is a disaster here. And I ended up going back to that mall, what was it, 3 times total, trying to pick up the suits. That's not including the initial fitting.
It was at least once for me.
Yeah. So it was 3 times total, going back and forth trying to get the suits.
I'm sorry. You picked up twice. You went there twice for me.
Twice for you, and the 2 times for me. So grand total of 4 times to that mall. But I'm only counting the 3 to pickups. But the point is, it was an absolute disaster. But we finally got the suits, and I shipped it down to Craig, and he just received it on Monday. So did it turn out okay? By the way.
I was gonna say, does it
Haven't
fit?
even opened it.
No.
Haven't even opened it yet.
After all that.
Oh God.
No, it was one of those things where I got it in on Monday, and I was at the office on Monday, and I got home really late. We got home really late because my niece had a softball tournament, so we didn't end up getting home till like 9 o'clock. Because Brian, we started playing Dark Souls right after when I got home. So you were with me pretty much the entire night, and I just getting home. All right, I'm gonna play Dark Souls with Brian. We'll continue on, and then yesterday I just didn't think about it, truthfully. Just completely had skipped my mind, and I didn't think about it till today, till we started talking about like, oh yeah, we're gonna be let's go, when we were just doing our prep for the show. I was like, oh yeah, I still haven't touched that yet. And so I was waiting for Sarah to be home so I could try it on, so she could see like what it looks like from other angles and whatnot, to make sure it didn't look goofy in some way. But I need to do that. I really do.
Yeah, mine will be great as long as I don't eat anything during the wedding.
That's what I'm most scared about. I was like, well, whatever. I'm gonna look like a fool anyways. I might as well embrace it.
I mean, paying a lot for clothes at a wedding is kind of a time-honored tradition. Michelle, how about you? Have you ever been in a wedding?
No.
No? Count yourself so lucky.
You save so much money.
Agreed.
These things are so stupid.
Yeah, I would not want to even be in someone's wedding if I'd have to pay any kind of money to do that.
And the girl side of things is even worse than the guys.
Oh, I'm sure it
Almost
is.
every single time. Almost every single time. Not obviously every time,
Like-
but it feels like everyone I've been involved with where the girl was having to buy, or Sarah was having to, or whatever current girlfriend I had at the time was, because they're buying the dress. Well, then they have to buy the matching shoes, and they've got the matching jewelry that they're getting with
And
it too.
Perch or
And-
clutch.
Yep, and they've got that, and now they have to do makeup and hair beforehand. Well, they need to get the hair done the week before to get it colored the right way for it to be a part. And it just like starts rolling. You're going,
Don't forget
Yeah,
the
it's-
shower.
Oh my Lord,
the
this is
shower
costing-
gifts.
yeah, this is costing me like $1,000 for you to go and hang out at this wedding. They better give me the biggest, amazing buffet ever at this stupid thing.
Yeah, no, it's definitely being, well, I don't know how, I can't speak for everybody. I've been in 2 weddings, three weddings. This will be my third one. I was best man for my brothers, obviously, and then I was in another buddy of ours we mentioned on the show named Brett, and then this current one, which I'm also best man for that one as well. So how about you guys? Which I know Craig's been in a number of weddings, and Burke, how many of you had or been in? That is.
I've been in 3 or 4 best men in 1, I think. Yeah.
I
Craig
think
has
I've been
2
in
hands.
7. I think I've been in 7, and that's not counting ones where I was like really young, like being like the ring bearer.
No, yeah,
I don't
the
know.
ring bear.
I'm not. I'm counting that ring bear.
Oh, okay.
I'm
I
counting-
lied. I was a flower girl once. Sorry.
Okay, there you go.
Forgot
I
about
forgot
that.
about that. I forgot about that too.
I think I was a ring bearer twice, but like the first wedding I think I was in was my cousin's, and then I was in Wayne's. I was in Burke's. I was in Mike's. I was in Matt's. Brett's. Gosh. Who was the other one? I just counted the other one.
That's a lot.
it's a lot
Yeah,
of fucking
it,
weddings.
is, it is a lot.
Oh, I was in one of my other cousins' weddings.
That
For that
sucks too
one.
that you can't just like even have just like the same tux or suit for all of them. Like you have to do it every time.
Oh yeah, because it's
Yeah.
different colors. Even the guys will
Yeah.
have a different color on it or anything like that. And just at least with me, I know other people. I don't stay the same size ever, like 6 months to 6 months. So no matter
Same.
what, I'd have to get something different every single time. It's just, and I honestly, near the end of it, I was like, I am just sick of being in weddings. This is just not fun. I don't mind the weddings that are kind of like low key and stuff like that. Like Mike's wasn't bad because there wasn't like a lot of prep work to do with it.
Right.
Wayne's was a little. There seems like there was a lot more prep work, and they were a lot more like, oh my gosh, we have to have this perfect. It's like, oh my God, I don't really. It's not going to be that big of a deal.
I feel like that's how this one is going to end up being. That I'm in
Craig
right now. That it
hated
might
mine.
be a little bit more intense than I'm giving it credit for right now. That's why I'm
Oh.
nervous.
I can guarantee that my shit carrying level is going to be minimal. It's going to be, I'm getting through this weekend because it's already going to be a crazy weekend because I have to drive up the night before,
Right.
and I'm barely going to have any time to do anything. It's going to be right to that. Like, I don't even know what I'm going to wear to the rehearsal dinner. It's probably going to be something that everybody's going to be like, that little piece of shit is wearing that. I'll be like, I don't care. I just drove like 11 hours straight, 12 hours straight to get here.
Yeah.
I'm going to be comfortable tonight because I haven't showered. Have you noticed? I haven't had time to do anything.
No, so we're talking a lot of negative things with weddings. So let's kind of
let's continue on.
Well,
so I remember.
Oh God, no!
I'm just kidding.
No, you're good. You're good.
Just.
So if we're talking, and there is a lot of negative things that I have to deal with, being in weddings, of course. But has anybody either been in a wedding or attended a wedding that you can honestly say, "Boy, I had a really great time," and like, what's the thing that made it a good time?
So my friends Jenny and Keith got married in April of 2015, and I attended their wedding. I was not in it, but I attended it, and their wedding was super fun because her entire playlist, even in the church, was video game music. So like she was walking down the aisle to
That's
like
legit.
Dearly Beloved from Kingdom Hearts and like the wedding march from the Dragon Quest games and stuff.
Oh my God.
And then when we got to the reception, they had like an entire table full of board games, and then they had an N64 set up in a side game room. So we were playing drunk Super Smash Brothers while attending this wedding. So it was super fun. You know, and then plus
That's
like
awesome.
They were like, there were some songs that were like, I mean, I don't want to say they're meme songs, but they basically are. So like they were playing those, and like we're all doing like the YouTube dances to it, like the few of us that know what they are, and everyone else at the wedding is looking at us like, what is this?
Can you give an example?
Like Caramel Dancing or Gangnam Style, like songs that like people don't really know if they don't watch YouTube. But
I'm
no,
with you.
it was fun.
More importantly, which character did you choose during Smash Brothers?
Pikachu, and I won, even though I was wasted.
And I'm going to go ahead and assume you spammed down B, but you know, it's okay.
No, I didn't actually. But the only bad part of that wedding for me,
down B.
the only bad part about that wedding for me was our friend had flown in from Australia to be in the wedding and attend it, and I had a lot of pictures on my phone, and somehow my phone disappeared at this wedding, and it has yet to be like retrieved. So I lost like
Interesting.
all of the pictures that I had.
Aw,
When was this wedding?
2015.
Okay. There's only two weddings that I can say that I enjoyed. Burke, I'm sorry, yours was not one of them. Yours was kind of on the like neutral
I didn't
scale.
enjoy it
Like
either.
there was nothing good or bad. It was just kind of like I was there, the wedding happened, you disappeared, and I was like, oh, I know no one now.
Yeah, that's kind of how I was like with my wedding. I didn't want it to be that big, so
Yeah.
so I'm kind of with you.
It was just kind of funny because I flew out the night before we got there, and we played video games, and that was fun, but that's not the wedding portion of it. We like started doing the wedding thing. We had to be there super early, do all the pictures. That stuff just annoys me in general. Then like we did the wedding, and then I remember it was super hot because there's like 4 billion people in this small little room. So I went outside because in Houston, at the time, it was colder outside than it was inside that building. So I went outside to cool off, and I came back in, and Burke and his wife had left in that like small like 3-minute window. I was outside just cooling off. I was like, oh no, I didn't even get to say bye to him.
Yeah, I was like, I'm gone. Like, I'm getting out of this. This place is hot. I didn't even get to play the fucking music I wanted. Fuck y'all.
So I came back in, and
I'm gonna go have sex.
I was a little sad. I was like, oh no, I didn't get to say goodbye to Burke. So I was a little mopey after that. And then I knew like after that I was taking care of like all the rest of the stuff because Burke and his wife were heading out after that. So I was the one going back to the house, like driving the car, locking everything back up. I was, taking care of that stuff. And it was just like a short little trip. Anyway, that's not even one of the stories I wanted to tell. The super short story that I liked, and I know this pisses Brian off and potentially a little bit of Burke. My wedding was amazing because it was short, sweet, to the point, didn't cost hardly an ounce of money.
And you didn't invite anybody.
I invited nobody, and no friends were allowed to come to the wedding unless if they were working the wedding. I had one friend there that was the officiant, and that was it. And so there was that. And then the other wedding that I ended up really liking was Wayne's wedding because the reception was super fun. The reception was probably the most fun I've ever had at a wedding. And it just was like this perfect amount of like music, dancing, having fun. Like the wedding was super And that may have been part of it. The wedding felt like it was super stressful. And so I feel like once that got done and everybody was just at the reception, everybody just cut loose and just kind of let go of all that tension that was there. And it was just a ton of fun. I remember my mom got pretty tipsy that night. And she and one of our other buddies, Kirk, like his mom and my mom were out on the dance floor dancing. And I've never seen my mom dance in my life. And it was just hilarious. She was like laughing, almost falling over. It just was like a fun night overall. It was pretty fun.
That's awesome. See, good stories about weddings. I'm loving this. I say I have a few of them, I suppose, but I really enjoyed my brother's wedding quite a bit. That one was just, it was easy as the best man. There really wasn't a whole lot to do. You know what I mean? And all the stuff that I needed to do, I was like, okay, I did it, and I feel like I did it decently enough. So I was like, whew, once the speech was over, it was just time to relax and have fun. And I got to speak with some people there that I've never really spoken with a whole lot, like Taylor, that's my brother's wife's name. Her father, I got to really talk to him for the first time at any length. And he was a little wasted. So some of the stories that came out of that were pretty amazing. I like that. And then, so this is going to sound kind of weird. This is a story that involves that same guy who's getting married. His cousin, his uncle's at his uncle's wedding. What had happened is that he actually asked me, he goes, hey, my uncle's getting married. Do you want to come and hang out at the wedding and just like show up? And this was pretty much on the day of, he told me this, right? And I'm like, sure, I could just dust off a suit and go to this thing. And, because it was, open bar situation. And I've met his uncle before. So we go and we're there at the wedding. What I forgot is that his cousin, I hate him. I can't say it any other way. But the kid is he's kind of a jerk, like kind of a situation. He's very, very, very self-centered, and the world revolves around him, right? And he's just he's very like everything should be given to me kind of guy. So like Craig, what is my biggest pet peeve in the whole wide world?
You think you're better than me?
Exactly. And this kid is the epitome of you think you're better than me, right? So he's there with a girl, and Tony, the guy who's getting married, his brother tells me to go hit on this guy's girlfriend. And I was like, what?
Nice.
And he goes, no. He goes, just do it, and it'll mess with him, and it'll just screw with his head forever. And I'm like, it's his dad's wedding. I can't do that. And then I sat next to him during the dinner, and I was like, no, I can totally do this. so Tony and I go up to the bar, and it's actually the picture every time Tony calls is a picture of him and I up at that bar during that wedding, holding drinks up, like basically Barney Stinson style. And I proceeded to chat it up with this guy's girlfriend all night, just like not trying to do anything about it other than give like a little flirting just to screw with this kid's head. And yes, it did mess with him. And Tony's
just some mental
yeah,
games.
It was. And Tony's brother was like all night, as soon as she'd walk away or they'd walk away, he was like, oh my god, that's awesome. And we go back and get another drink. So it was a good time. I'm probably going to see him at the wedding. Good times.
Burke, what were some of your favorite wedding stories or anything that's good come out of it?
Yeah, I don't have really many good stories. I'm trying to think. I've been trying to think for this whole time. I was like, damn it, I hate fucking weddings. I didn't want to get married myself. I just wanted to elope. But I'm trying to think, because most of my weddings, so I think the reason I hated them, going back now looking at it and thinking about it, I grew up Church of Christ, so there was no alcohol at any fucking wedding I went to. None. Oh. And so it was all just like, hey, let's stand around and eat cake and talk to people who go to the same church we go to and all this shit. And I'm like, this is boring. Yeah, and I just I still hate dressing up. I'd rather go in like a shirt and a t-shirt.
Yeah, I attended a lot of weddings like when I was a teenager, because that's when a lot of my cousins and stuff were getting married. And like it was fun because I have a lot of cousins that I could hang out with, but at the same time it was kind of like there was that disconnect because you have like all these drunk adults and we're like, yeah, we're not old enough to drink. And then after I was 21, I think I've attended 2 weddings that had alcohol.
Yeah, like so. Exactly. Like I remember the one wedding I actually remember and have good memories was the reception was at Churchill Downs, so where they do the Kentucky Derby. And just being in that venue, because they rented out the whole thing, was awesome. Like, and of course it was part of the family that was disowned, and because they drank and went to the Christian church, not the Church of Christ, you know. So, because they had dancing and everything, and but they had dancing because dancing leads to everybody
footloose, right?
The horizontal shuffle.
Yep.
So anyway, so I did a lot of dance, and like that was the first wedding I actually really remember, like probably as a high school student, even really enjoying. So that was a lot of fun. And then my sister's wedding was a lot of fun, but there wasn't any alcohol, so I just talked to people, and I remember just making fun of my sister and her husband a lot, and that was probably the highlight of it for me. But so yeah, outside of that, not too many fun experiences with weddings.
Yeah, I mean, like I have a lot of stuff that like kind of stuff surrounding weddings that makes me laugh. Like for example, Craig, you'll probably appreciate this. This is another Will story. I know you love Will stories. So what had happened was my cousin, when he was getting married, had invited my family to go to the wedding, obviously. And so what we did was we piled in my dad's truck, and we all rode up to where the wedding was, which is in northern Michigan. We were late. This is not something that we normally are, but being late, that was a major problem. So my dad was just pedal to the metal, speeding down the highway, right? Well, we get pulled over, and so we get pulled over.
Of course,
well, of course, right? So cop pulls us over, and we're like, oh my god, and we're kids, we're younger. My brother and I, and we're like, oh my god, Dad's gonna get a ticket, and he's gonna be so pissed, and this is gonna ruin the whole weekend, kind of situation, right? Well, cop comes over, and my dad hands him or flips open his wallet, to show him his driver's license. And it was at that moment the most magical thing in the world happened. 2 weeks prior to this, we had gone to a dinner at a firehouse. There was potluck sort of dinner things where you can buy a plate or whatever it is, fundraiser sort of thing. Yeah. Well, my dad, we had gone there, and my dad had gotten a sticker at that time. That sticker was of a badge that he put in his wallet. When he opened up his wallet, the officer saw the badge at a glance, saw that it was a firefighter's badge, like a sticker of one, but he didn't recognize that it was a sticker. And because my dad had closed it, like a little fast enough, he goes, "Oh," he goes, "You on the ladder?" My dad looks at him, just deadpan, goes, "Retired." and the guy says, "Have a good day," and then we drive off.
That's legit.
No, it's hilarious. Awful. It's awful. My dad faked being a firefighter to get out of a ticket. That's the sort of shit that you like. That's awful.
I love your dad so much. This is why on our previous podcast, Brian, this was my favorite segment every week, was the Will story segment. Got another story from Will. Old Crazy Will's got another story today. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So that's true story. Yeah, he told the guy he was a retired firefighter to get out of a ticket. So the rest of the weekend was a blur of, it was an outdoor wedding, which was the only outdoor wedding I've ever attended, which is kind of nice, actually. I don't know if you guys ever done one of those, but those are pretty nice.
I have. They're pretty nice.
Yeah, I actually have, and I was actually a best man in one of them, and it was in Tennessee. And in Tennessee, like every 7 years, they have cicadas that come
17
out.
years.
17, and like it happened to be during that season when it happened.
Yes,
and so I remember, like, I flew up to Tennessee, was driving around, and I'm talking like, it sounds like you're just driving, and it sounds like your car's getting hailed on because there are so many freaking bugs. And like, so we drive out, and it's on a lake, so it's probably even worse. Like, and there's just massive trees. It's a beautiful, beautiful wedding. But I was like, I just remember, like, and they're like, I'm like, you planned this well? He goes, we forgot. and,
Oh my
and like it was awesome. But even that, the ceremony was beautiful. It was quick, and then there was a massive party, a lot of beer and whatnot. But it was so funny because like during the ceremony, the cicadas just died down, slowly just died down, and then as soon as it ended, it was just it was just awful.
I had one outdoor wedding, and it was my buddy Matt's. And this is 2014, I think, when this wedding was. Maybe it was 2013. Either or, it's right around there. It's Brian. It's when you and I lived in Grand Blanc, so it was one of those 2 years. And I had to take a couple days off work to get there because their wedding was on a Sunday, and he lives in Oklahoma, and I was living in Michigan at the time. And so I was like, oh, crap, I'm going to have to take off the Monday because it was a 7 o'clock or it was a 5 o'clock in the afternoon wedding on a Sunday. There's no way I'm getting home for work on a Monday morning. So I go out there super early. We go and we hang out. I have a lot of fun hanging out with Matt. And then we get to the wedding and they're like, oh, we need to get there early because we have to set up for the wedding. We have to put all the chairs out and all this other stuff. I'm in Oklahoma in early September. Oklahoma's a southern state, for those of you that don't know. And southern states in the summer are usually kind of warm.
What?
So it is a 95-degree day out. And I am outside the entire day setting up chairs, moving things around, and I am just drenched in sweat. And the place we are at has no shower, has nothing like that. It had one bathroom in the entire place, and it was just absolutely devastating to every single bit of clothing that I was wearing and my hydration levels. Because at the end of it, and they've got pictures of during the wedding, and I had like sat down and just went right onto like a register with the AC pumping out and a fan directly on me for about 30 minutes before we had to walk back out there to do the wedding. And even with that, you go back out and you check in any of the pictures, and it's when I had my really long hair that was like kind of like shoulder length. Mm-hmm. And the whole time my hair it looks like I just got out of a shower and slicked my hair back. And I was the best man. So it's like I'm in every picture because I'm right next to Matt during this whole thing. And it was just, it was terrible. Absolutely terrible.
See, well, did people think that it was a style choice, slicking your hair back like that?
I don't know. Actually, I hope that's what they thought.
Yeah, it could
I was
be.
wearing white, so I don't know how much that was just soaking through, and it just looked like I was in a wet t-shirt contest either. Which I'm really hoping it wasn't. I've never looked at any of the pictures truthfully afterwards, so I couldn't tell you. I've only seen one of them, and I really like that one. I'll have to try and see if we can get it up on the website. I don't know if I'll be able to get it though. So no promises.
Well,
but I was just dead, gone, sweat.
Makes you feel any better? At my brother's wedding, I had somebody toward the end of the night who was very, very inebriated come up to me, go, "Holy shit, you're Jack McBriar!" I go, No, I'm not. And
Brian, I thought we promised you would never tell the story about me.
No. We were good on that wedding actually, but the person came up and goes, "Oh my God, you're Jack McBriar," and I'm like, "No, I'm not." And they're like, "Oh, well, you look just like him." And I'm like, "I don't know who the hell Jack McBriar is."
That was going to be my next question. Who the hell is Jack McBriar?
Turns out, if you've ever watched 30 Rock, he's the guy who plays Kenneth in 30 Rock.
And is that the Forgetting Sarah Marshall guy too?
I think he was in Forgetting. Yeah, he was.
Yeah,
Wreck-It Ralph,
the guy who
30 Rock
was on the
Despicable
honeymoon.
Me.
Yeah. So, but the point is that they were so convinced that I looked like this person that she made her boyfriend take a picture with me. They're like, "Please pose for the picture. You're Kenneth. You're Jack McBriar." I'm like, "No, whatever, fine, okay." And I'm like, I don't know who the hell. To this day, I have no idea who that couple was. I asked my brother about it. He has no idea who those people were either. At least to my knowledge, I don't think he knows.
Wedding crashers
Might have been, but if they were,
Yes.
they did not be. They were not subtle about it.
And they played it well, hiding in plain sight. Oh my gosh.
Oh man. But yeah, so speaking of getting drunk at weddings, has anybody here ever gotten blitzed at a wedding?
Yes. Ish.
I see a sheepish hand raised from a corner.
Well, I mean, I already told the story, so.
Yeah, no, but still.
But
No.
I do have one other wedding the only other wedding I went to that had alcohol that I also got wasted at. Funny how that correlates.
So the trick is getting you at a wedding again, so then we can party.
Where there's free alcohol.
Right.
It's got to be open bar.
Right. I mean, granted, it's everything is better with a free bar. Let's be honest here, people.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Craig, you said you
The only time I got decently wasted at Wayne's wedding. I think that had to do with why I enjoyed it so much. I think were we 21? Yeah, we were 21 for Brett's wedding.
yeah.
But I didn't end up drinking there though. I didn't have anything. But Wayne's I drank, and I drank quite a bit, and it was fun. I didn't get completely like blackout looking over a railing, trying not to puke or anything like that. But I was pretty far gone, and I was having a really good time.
Can we make a deal that we're gonna do that at Tony's wedding? And then just do a whole podcast about our adventures. What do you say?
That actually doesn't sound too bad. We will see on the day that it gets there. That might be a fun thing to do, is just get absolutely
There's a lot that's changed in
slam-basted.
alcohol tolerance in the last few years for all of us.
That's true. I'll give you that. That is very true. But still, we can make it happen.
I do have to drive back home the next day.
Yeah, but eventually.
That's the next day. That's the next day.
Yeah, I don't know if you know this. I'm 30. I don't know if I'm going to recover. That's the problem.
No, we'll bounce right back like we did when we were young bucks.
That's not going to happen. That is not going to happen. Does anybody have like a good experience with wedding food?
Oh,
Does anybody have any form of I really remember that wedding and it had really good food?
I do have two as well. So
Holy shit.
because
I don't have one.
The same wedding I've been talking about. It's one of the most recent ones I've been to, and one of my favorites. They did a taco bar, which can't go wrong with that. And they also had like these really good appetizers. I forget what exactly one of them was. I think it was goat cheese and honey on a type of cracker, and that was so good, even though it sounded really weird.
goat cheese?
That sounds amazing.
And then she had taken like little glass bottles. I have some somewhere. I'll have to find them. And filled them with candy, but they look like healing potions from video games and stuff like that. And those were fun. And then a wedding I went to actually just a few weeks later from that one. Not a great wedding overall, because first of all, it was a Catholic ceremony, so it was like 75 hours long.
Oh, God.
But
Done with this.
when we got to the reception, it was at this place where you can tell only very, very wealthy people go. And the food that they served us was phenomenal. It was the best, like, the tomato soup. They brought out like tomato bisque soup, and it was so good. And the salmon was the best salmon I've ever had. And I'm not even crazy about salmon, but like it was amazing. And that's like the highlight of that wedding.
Can we back it up a little bit?
Sure.
I was with you through the story up until the part where you said that tomato soup was phenomenal.
Yeah.
Tomato soup
was a
is
tomato
tomato
bisque-
soup. Like, I've never had tomato soup that's been like...
I don't like if you give me a can of Campbell's tomato soup, I'm gonna be like, that's disgusting. Like, I don't want to eat this. But it was like a homemade tomato bisque soup, and it was like actually delicious.
I can agree. There's a place that used to be around here. I don't know if it is anymore. I just haven't checked. But when I went to college down here, I think, what was it? Not Bread and Company. It was something
La
on
Madeline.
McDonald's.
right there in Green Hills.
Oh my God! I think your bread and company.
Was it-
I think there was because they. Oh yeah, that place
They
had some
had
good
an
tomato.
amazing tomato bisque.
Oh, they
and,
did.
I mean, because I can think about just the difference between, all right, so I'm going to get this Campbell's tomato soup. I'm going to put it in there, and I'm going to put water in. Or I'm going to
Gross.
put in there, and I'm going to put milk in with it. That changes the taste completely right there.
Yeah.
So I know there's levels of goodness in tomato soup.
Yeah, okay. All right. But, I mean, the salmon part does sound awesome, though. I'll give you that.
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah. My cousin's wedding that I had it's already almost a year now. Not quite, but it's getting there. At his wedding, like the dinner itself, it was okay. But the nice thing is that as the night went on, they had the open bar, and his friends are known to drink a lot. So they ended up having a huge, and I mean like comically large, just hot dogs, like Kogel's hot dogs, and just brought them in, and there was like, hey, guess what? This is like the post game party. It's like, here you go. Here's a bunch of hot dogs.
Nice.
It's like, this is awesome. And after you've been drinking all night, it's kind of nice to have a hot dog.
So I don't remember like specifically any foods, but I know the food at my sister's wedding and my uncle's wedding was absolutely amazing. Just because of the people they got to cater it, and I've eaten all their food. Like it was probably, I know it was expensive as shit, but that's why it was so good. It was like top of the line, like a chicken and steak and all that stuff.
See, yeah, and to Craig's credit, I know what he was talking about. It's when I'm having bad wedding food. Like most of the time, you have it, and you're like, "Well, this is enjoyable. Like it's not bad food necessarily, but it doesn't wow you."
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Because it's mass produced.
And that's the thing is almost all the weddings
True.
that I've been to, I want to say in the last probably 10 years, most of the weddings that I've gone to, it's like, oh, here's the buffet of food. Like, here you go. You can go along the lines like, oh, I'm going to get my El Gratin potatoes, and I'm going to get this, and I'm going to get this. And it tastes like somebody went through with a box and made all these meals up. And I know that's saving money, and I'm not complaining about that portion. It's just going, I'm like, man, I was really hoping to go in here because there's those certain weddings that you go in and they've got like this little certain food or something that was like pretty good. And you're like, someone's gonna really knock it out of the park and have a ton of really good food here. But every single time it's like the same for me. The ones that I've gone to, it's like, oh, we've got meatballs. Oh, here's your whatever. It's like the same. Oh, here's your mac and cheese. Here's your whatever it is. So it's like the same ones every single time.
I think that's why I like the taco bar one so much, because it was just completely non-traditional for a wedding.
Taco. Oh, well, yeah. I mean, who would do a taco bar? I mean, granted, not my style, but I'm not.
There was a wedding I wasn't at very long, and I didn't really get to eat there, but they had a pizza bar. It was just a tons of different types of pizzas they like had, and it was like you could just grab it by the slice. But I can't.
Did you go to Cece's?
No, no, that's not.
It was at this niche place, Chuck E. Cheese, I believe it was called.
Let's not talk Cece's. That place makes me want to throw up.
So I guess this brings up a question then. I know obviously both Michelle and I are not married, but you guys are, and you've done the whole wedding thing, for yourselves. Looking back, is there anything that you would have done differently, or something like if they're like, oh man, if I could change one thing from that day, what would it be? If anything.
Elope.
Make
it even smaller.
Oh.
That's about all I got.
I honestly agree with that. Like what I would want, and like I honestly, like my wedding, it flew by. It went by. Like as I said, I went Church of Christ. Like I couldn't have alcohol. Even we did the traditional wedding toast. It was like fake bubbly bullshit that tasted like shit. Like it was awful.
I believe it says that on the side of the bottle.
Like, yeah, like pretty much. Like I mean, the church wouldn't allow us. It was just awful. So I would, if I had a wedding again or went back and redid it, I wouldn't use that venue, but I would much rather get eloped and then have just like a party like a couple weeks later after a honeymoon or something. Like because then the stress is off of you. It's not this big production. It's more just like, hey, let's come hang out and have a massive party. That would have been a lot cooler, I think.
And see, that's the only thing I don't like about that is the party afterwards. Do I want to get together with a bunch of people? Yes, but since it's considered like the wedding party, I don't want to pay for it. So if it was something where it's like, hey, we're going to get together and celebrate this, just to let you know just to let you know beforehand, everybody's bringing everything of theirs, food, drink,
I still want the gifts,
all that stuff. No, not even the gifts. Like, because I'm not doing it. Because that's the part that I don't want either. I don't want the gifts because I don't want to pay for your food and for everybody to come here and do this. And I don't want you giving me gifts. How about we just all keep our money and spend it on what we want? That was my biggest thing. That was on my father-in-law.
That was my father-in-law paid for it.
That's his job. And I paid for my own wedding, the whole thing. Yeah. I paid for all of it. So I was trying to keep costs down because I was not in a spot financially to be able to be like, fuck it, let's have a ton of people. And that's why I told Sarah, I was like, if we really want to have like some kind of party, let's wait and we'll do like a 1-year anniversary thing. We'll go back and do it. And then about 6 months later, she's like, yeah, I really don't care. I was like, see,
Yeah.
there we go. We don't need to do this. It's kind of pointless. Would we like to do this? Yes, but we do that. We have to pay for the money. Then people are thinking, do we bring gifts? And it's just, how about everybody just keeps their own fucking money and we just move on with our lives?
Yeah. I do like that point. That's a
So
good
that
point.
hearing all that, Michelle, does that change any of your thoughts on your future fictional wedding date that I'm just making up that you have one right now?
No.
No, you say you still
No,
Yeah.
but so I have a large family and I do want to have it, but my intention is to do a lot of just do it yourself, keep it very simple. One wedding I attended that I liked was my cousin's wedding, where she just rented like a hall, and she just had somebody perform the ceremony for her, like one of her friends or something, and the hall was not that expensive in itself, and she kind of just set up everything herself, and it wasn't that much, but it was still perfectly pleasant because everybody was just there. So that's kind of the track that I want to go down, is just like not, it'll be a big party, but it's not going to be expensive the way I want to do it.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, I mean, it all depends on the person. I just didn't know if with them all giving the very clear vote toward not doing a wedding basically at all, based more or less. I didn't know if that would change anything for you.
The biggest piece of advice I'd be able to give, and again, still do what you want to do because that's what matters. My say or any input that I have doesn't matter. There's going to be a section of people that are pissed off with you no matter what fucking decision you make. So make the best decision for yourself.
Yeah, I'm already over that.
Yeah, and like Sarah's friends were mad at her. I'm sure some of you guys were mad at me, but it was like as soon as we started doing anything, as soon as we started doing anything where it was like, okay, well now we'll let cousins come. Sarah had like 45 cousins. She's like, well, I just can't leave this person off. I'm like, well, at this point, we went from 20 people at our wedding. Now we're up to like 75. And now if we do friends, Sarah thinks she's best friends with everybody she's ever fucking met ever. And it would have been just like this whole wave. I was like, well, we have to cut it down.
Move.
That's what I was thinking.
And I was like, so how about this? We are doing parents, siblings, and their respective nuclear families. So like with my sister and her kids, or with her sister and brother and their significant others or whatever, and then grandparents. So it's parents, siblings, and grandparents. That's it. No one else. Otherwise, it just was going to get out of control.
Yeah, I'm kind of already over that because I have another friend who's dealing with that too. So they actually did elope and they are just having like a party like a year and a half later. She's not a big drinker and she doesn't really like it. And her family's like pissed off because they're like, what's the point of attending a wedding if there's no alcohol? And she's like, well, this is also my wedding. Like, it's not for you.
Go fuck yourselves.
Like, it's just kind of like, and she's already dealing with that. And that's what I told her. I was like, it's your day. Like, you don't need to make them happy.
No, they can bring a flask like the rest of us. I mean,
there you go.
Brian, do you have anything really small that you would that you'd want for your wedding day? Anything that you think you have to have?
A bride.
Perfect.
All right. And with that stunning announcement, we're going to go to a quiz. And hopefully Brian will feel better about himself because he'll forget that sad fact.
Sad. The dude's living the dream. You've been married, Burke. You know what I'm talking about.
Oh, I know. All right. So I tried to put together some crazy facts about other countries and random weird facts about weddings. So we'll see how this goes. The order tonight is Craig, Brian, and Michelle, otherwise known as Madaisy. Okay. Question number 1. According to Greek culture, what should brides tuck into their gloves or dress or anything like that because it sweetens the union?
The blood of ex-lovers.
Well,
I didn't say Transylvania, but okay, I said Greek.
Ah!
I was gonna say grapes.
Grapes. Okay.
I was going to say an olive branch.
Okay. I like Michelle's answer because it's closer regionally, but it's actually a sugar cube.
Oh, of course.
She's feeding horses on the way down.
Hey,
Craig? Nay.
I even left off some of the more obscure ones, but yeah. Okay.
Sugar cube. That's interesting.
Yeah, it was very interesting. All right. Engagement and wedding rings are worn on the fourth finger of the left hand because it was once thought that the vein in that finger leads directly to what?
The heart, Osborne.
I gotta say the heart.
I want to say heart, but I'm going to go with brain.
It is the heart. It is the heart. So there you go. Okay, so now I have a few true and false questions throughout this thing. This one is one of them. True or false? Queen Victoria started the Western world's white wedding dress trend in 1840. Before then, brides simply wore their best dress.
I'm going to go true, Bob.
I'm gonna say true.
I'm going to say false.
It is true.
Yeah.
All right. So question number 4 relates to question number 3. Queen Victoria's wedding cake weighed how many pounds?
I'm going to go with 27, Bob.
I'm gonna guess 50.
I'm going to say 75.
I'm going to give the point to Michelle because the cake weighed 300 pounds.
Jesus.
What in the world?
In 18
Yes.
whatever?
At 1840, 300 pounds.
Holy
That was a
fuck.
factor of 10 off.
They're like, oh,
Yes.
we haven't figured out plumbing, but we can make 300-pound cakes. Of course, human technology.
I know. Is that not crazy?
Oh my god.
All right. True or false? In Japan, white was always the color of choice for bridal ensembles long before Queen Victoria
Made it popular
in the Western world. Yeah, thank you. Can't speak today.
I'm going to go with true.
I'm going to say false.
False.
It is true.
Oh, what the fuck, Japan?
What the fuck, Japan? That's awesome. All right, another true or false. The Roman goddess Juno rules over marriage, the hearth and childbirth, hence the popularity of June weddings.
So I'm saying true or false that she is over those things, or
Over
that's the
marriage,
reason
hearth,
why.
and childbirth.
Okay.
Yeah. The whole statement.
The whole statement.
Yeah.
I'll go false.
The answer is false.
The answer is actually true.
Ooh. She is correct.
I am absolutely confident in this. I read mythology for fun, so
See, that's the thing. I was trying to make sure to put in that the whole statement is true.
Oh,
that
wait, you said Roman.
I believe that she is the one that, like, that's what she goes over. But then he said, well, that's the reason for the June weddings. And I go, well, I think it's just because it's finally fucking warm out. And
no, it's the month that's named after her, and so they believed it would be blessed.
Right, but we're talking over all time of human existence, and so now I don't think it's really that case. I think it's fucking warm out finally. Let's get married, and there's not as much rain
Keep arguing,
in June.
I'll give you negative points.
Like that's. I'm not saying that I'm wrong, but I just don't. That's why I said false, because I don't know if that part of the thing is true.
The Greek one.
I don't know. It just seems like it's. How do we know that that's really why now that they definitely back in Roman times? But I was taking the question as of from this moment back to beginning of human existence.
I swear the Greek version of that is not Juno.
You're incorrect. Well, it's Hera, but she also
Hera.
is
Hera, that's what I was thinking of. I was thinking of
she
Hera.
is also overseeing marriage and childbirth.
Yeah, it's the same goddess though.
Yeah, but that's what I was thinking. Like when you said Juno, I go, oh, I was thinking my brain was in Hera because whatever, it's fine. I lost for sure, but just damn it.
Bonus question: who's Atlas in Roman culture, in the Roman gods?
Do I answer this?
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Michelle can answer. She probably knows off the top of her head.
It's the
could
fucker
answer,
holding
but
up
I
the globe,
won't.
isn't it?
Yeah. And I heard he's known to shrug.
Shrug. All right. Question number 7. Valentine's Day and what other holiday are the 2 busiest marriage days in Las Vegas? Hint, it's not in June.
If it's Sweetest Day, I'm going to punch something.
Is that your guess, Sweetest Day?
Yes.
What day?
That doesn't exist outside of Michigan or in the Midwest, I suppose.
Okay, fair enough. So that's probably not the answer, but because I gave that away.
I'm gonna say that it's the day before Thanksgiving when everyone gets really drunk.
I'm gonna say St. Patrick's Day.
This is not my real answer. This is the answer that I'm going to say afterwards. My guess is like New Year's or the like December 31st or January 1st.
It's New Year's Eve. Yep. New Year's Eve. All right.
Just trying to think. I was like, when do people get really drunk and in Vegas? Well, every other time of the year, and then especially then.
Yep. All right. Question number 8. Stag parties or bachelor parties, depending on what part of the world you're from, were held first by what ancient society soldiers who, and then a little bit more details, they kissed their bachelor days goodbye with a raucous party is what everything said. So what ancient society's soldiers started stag parties?
I'm going to go with the Spartans of Sparta.
I'm gonna go with the Celts.
I'm gonna say the Greeks.
What is Sparta?
Come on, Brian. The Celts are drunk anyway.
I'll give you half a point for that, Michelle, just because they're very close. All right. Question number 9 is true or false? The English believe that finding a roach in your wedding dress brings good luck.
Are they getting married in Colorado or one of the other cities or states that have legalized marijuana and they're finding those types of roaches? They're like, fuck yeah, dude.
420 Marriott.
Okay, you said roach. My mind went elsewhere. Can you repeat the question?
The English, like UK, believe that finding a roach in your wedding dress brings good luck.
I'm going to go with true, Bob.
False.
I'm gonna go with true because that's just too weird.
It is actually false.
Yeah.
Because it is a spider.
Spider.
So if you find a spider in your wedding dress, that is good luck. Stay away.
They really love those spiders there. We learned that during that remember
Harry
that other
Potter.
quiz there. Well, God dang it.
Dang it. Question number 10.
Terrible.
True or false? The tradition in Denmark saw brides and grooms cross-dressing to confuse evil spirits.
Yes, to confuse evil spirits.
I'm gonna go sure, why not? True.
I'm gonna say true. I know a country does it. I just don't know if it's Denmark.
I'm going to make sure that my thing is true. Just
Yeah,
to make sure.
I had
Okay.
you marked down as true. It is true. All
Wow.
right. Number 11. Why does the groom carry the bride across the threshold? Like in tradition.
Dude, she has been in those shoes all day. She is sick of walking. And at that point, she's like, I'm fucking done. We were in the car. My feet hurt. You were carrying my ass in there. I'm not walking any further. No, I'm going to go with it's a sign of good luck or a blessing upon the house that you're carrying her in there.
I'm going to say that it has something to do with, and I don't know exactly what the correlation is, but something along the lines of it will ensure a child is born or an heir is made.
I'm gonna go the negative direction and say it's a way to assert his power as like the head of household.
All right, it is actually, according to this website, was to protect her from the spirits below.
Yes. The old below spirits.
Yes, yes.
That's what happens when you take your spirits and you're like, I'm gonna put you down in the basement. You guys stay down there. Hey, wife, come here. I need to carry you.
I would not have guessed down below spirits.
All right. Question number 12. Why are pearl engagement rings considered bad luck?
Why are pearl engagement rings?
Pearl. That is correct. You know the things that come out of
Yeah.
oysters or clams or whatever the fuck they are?
Because the black pearl sunk.
wait. You were going to use the word sunk. He's like, sunk. It's sunk. That pearl ain't gonna sunk.
And half a point.
Wow. I'm gonna say, well, probably because a diamond company wanted to make sure that their thing got sold and not a pearl. But if I had to guess, maybe it has something to deal with it's stolen from another organism, and so it's tainted somehow. I don't know.
Okay.
I was gonna say I think it's because it's made out of sand, so it's seen as like a dirty object.
Okay. Nope, that is not correct. It is because they are tear shaped. Or they look like tears. Because they resemble tears, even though they're not exactly like a water
That's
drop.
exactly what my tears look like. It's pearls. It's amazing.
Yeah, I know.
Sometimes
see
we
the
just make Michelle
slightly
cry just
round
to see it. It's incredible.
Tear shaped.
It's probably more because of Bride's reason.
Yeah.
All right.
You sure it's not because the black pearl sunk?
That's why you get half a point for that. All right. Question number 13. The most expensive wedding ever was between a sheik's son and a princess in Dubai in 1981. How much did it cost?
Adjusted for inflation or no?
I don't think so. I didn't see anything on that.
I'm gonna go with 250 million, Bob,
I'm gonna go more
and
conservative
11 cents.
and say 75 million.
Okay.
1 billion.
What?
1 billion.
What?
It is actually 40. Only 44 million. So it must not have been.
Holy shit, that's still a lot.
Oh.
I bet you if we translated that to,
I think
current,
Craig would be close if we adjusted for
44
inflation.
million in 1981.
But numerically, I'm closest. Currently.
Let's see here. Let's look at that up. Oh, come on.
You
My
can both
old-
be right and get the point.
My old nemesis is going to take this point away from me. Math.
Let's see here. 44, 1, 2, 3.
Still, I
Did you say 1980?
1981. 123 million in today's dollars.
Wow.
So
I mean, I'm fine with both getting the point, but
I guess Craig would technically win that one, but if it was in today's dollars, but Brian wins it. That's a lot of freaking money.
that's insane to me.
Yeah.
Like,
44.
what could your wedding have that was that much? You know what I mean?
You
like,
get everyone a Ferrari.
yeah, really. Heck, I would attend that wedding for sure.
No shit.
Yeah, we're friends. We were talking the other day.
Remember when we went to Chic High School together? It was good times.
Remember, I can show you the world. I watched that.
I saw that once.
I saw that once. All right, question 14. How many tons of gold are turned into wedding rings each year in the United States?
11 tons, Bob.
I don't even know what a correct value of that is. So I don't know. I'm gonna guess 5 tons.
I'm gonna say 2 tons. Rings don't weigh that much.
Craig is the closest. 17
Jesus.
tons
What?
of gold for wedding rings.
Gold is ugly.
I,
I'm just putting that
Wow.
out there.
Wow.
the only type of
Michelle
gold.
taking the hard stances on
There you
the
go.
subjects of the day. Some podcasts like touch on news and shit. Michelle's like, no, I'm attacking gold as just a general color.
I prefer platinum. All right. Number 15 and the last question. Moroccan brides took milk baths to purify themselves before the ceremony. I love Brian's face. It was like, what the fuck?
I'm like, what the hell? Okay. Uh-huh.
It wasn't Moroccan. It's Papua New Guinea.
I'm gonna say false. It was that vampire movie with that chick who died before we're all filming it. That one.
I'm gonna
Good
say
answer.
it's true.
It is actually. The answer is the statement is actually true. They do take milk baths to purify themselves. It makes you a virgin.
Damn Moroccans!
Did you know
It
that?
was.
It makes you
It
a
was.
virgin.
The movie was Queen of the Damned. For those of you wondering at home.
Okay.
Was it Aaliyah? Was that who you were talking about? Was that her name?
Sure.
Yes, it was. It was Aaliyah.
I just remember like it was a big controversy with that movie, and there was a scene where she was covered in like what looked like milk.
All right, fair enough. So, the results tonight are Craig wins and knows the most about weddings.
No
He's
fair.
been
He's
in the
had one.
most.
Yeah.
He's been in the most.
See?
He's had one.
That teach me about Moroccan milk baths.
He wins with 7 points. Brian comes in second with 5, and Michelle barely loses to Brian with 4.5 points.
Ooh.
There you go.
Well, Michelle, at least
Yay.
I mean we're still doing better than Craig and Burke though.
Yeah, those suckers got married and they got dunked on. Are you happy? I didn't want to do that.
Yeah!
Laugh, bitches.